I am still amazed to this day how many supposed Dragon Ball fans do not know that Dragon Ball Super takes place before Dragon Ball Z ends. I have argued with so many people on YouTube and a few in real life, not too many in real life, but a few, because not many people watch it from where I'm from, the area I'm from. But they're all like, Dragon Ball Super is the best sequel to Dragon Ball Z, or Dragon Ball Super is terrible. They should have done something better. I expect more of a sequel from Dragon Ball Z than Dragon Ball Super. And I'm like, wait, Dragon Ball Super is not a sequel to Dragon Ball Z. It is an in-between equal because Dragon Ball Super takes place before Dragon Ball Z ends. And I don't understand what's so hard to like how does that even, how do you mix that up? Because you look at the end of Dragon Ball Z and you see Goku flying off with Oob promising to visit his family and friends every now and then, which it sounds like he's never going to come back, honestly, because if he had the choice to never come back, he probably would never ever come back. But then you see them flying away. You watch Dragon Ball Super, and someone said it's filler. I haven't read the manga. Oh, the manga. Oops, sorry. Didn't mean to hurt anyone's hurt button feelings. No, I haven't read the manga. But someone said the first episode is like filler or something. I don't know. I have no idea. I haven't read it yet, and I plan on doing that because I heard it's way better than the show. But like when you go to Super, you don't see Oob at all. Now, of course, he gets mentioned, which again, like, okay, I'm gonna get onto that later. Anyway, the endings like don't match up if it's a sequel because Oob's nowhere there and Goku's back with his family. Like, how do you not understand that? And then there are a lot of people that say, well, the last 3 episodes of Dragon Ball Z with Oob are filler. How is it filler when it's in the manga? How? How's that filler? The rule is if it's in the manga and the TV show adapts it, it's canonical. The things that they add to it are not canonical, but if the parts that they adapt are canonical. Now, Super is a very in a horrible situation where the manga is vastly different. Like, they have the same sagas, minus the filler sagas, the Clone Saga and stuff like that, but the Tournament of Power has a lot of differences. The Goku Black has a lot of differences. Some of this is because Japanese laws, broadcasting laws, are now different than they were back in the 70s, 80s, 90s. But also because, you know, the manga is behind the anime, which is really, really odd, because it was in an odd time period. So you have all this filler and all these differences and things of that sort. But my issue with Super is that, one, again, it takes place before Z ends. There's that time gap. There's that time gap between the celebration with Majin Buu, Majin Buu's defeat, Kid Majin Buu, whatever you want to call him, it doesn't matter. The celebrations with Majin Buu episode from the original dub to Oob Saga, the Peaceful World, Peaceful Earth Saga. There's like a 5 to 10 year gap, and Bulma even says, it's been 5 years, Goku, since we last saw each other, because every time we plan to get together, you have to go and train. Well, it's true. You remember that line? That's from Funimation. I don't know if it's not that accurate to the Japanese, because I've watched it with subtitles on the orange bricks. But yeah, it's in that time gap that Bulma mentions, between Kid Buu being defeated and Oob appearing. So it's in that little gap. And when you watch the end of Z, Vegeta has absolutely no idea that Oob exists. Like, he has no idea. And then when you watch the Super anime, I don't know. I think someone said it's in the manga adaptation as well. I could be wrong. It could be filler. Someone correct me in the comments. Where in Super they're flying, and then Goku, I believe, tells Vegeta, "Hey, there's a strong kid in the village, but he's not old enough yet." Blah blah blah. What the fuck? That is a contradiction to the end of Z, where Vegeta and everyone else had no idea that there was a strong Earthling, Earthborn, and then here you go in Super and mention him like years earlier. What the fuck? That, like, no, it's more powerful that they do not know rather than let's anticipate this guy. What the hell? And also the fact that at the end of Z, it makes you think that the Earth has been peaceful for what, 5 to 10 years, with no threats, no anything. Goku just messed around, trained with Goten a bit, did his own training, because he's not gonna just sit there for 10 years and wake up, eat, go to bed. He's gonna train all the time to occupy his time and stuff. That's what it made it seem like. It made it seem like they were no richer, no poorer, that they were still living in the same house. And then in Super, they moved to a different house because Mr. Satan, Hercule, Mark Satan gives them, what was it, 10 million zenny or something like that. A million zenny, it doesn't matter. And then Chi-Chi spent it, and then I guess their house got destroyed. I don't know. I haven't finished Super because it pissed me off so much. And then, and of course, Goku, I love his new outfit at the end of Z, it's blue. But, of course, when he fights Oob, he doesn't go Super Saiyan and all that. You just assume that he is so strong in that 10-year gap that, like, just from being trained with his sons and Trunks and all of them growing up and stuff, and Vegeta, they had to have had sparring sessions in that 10 years apiece before Super existed, and that they got super strong that he didn't need to transform anymore. Kind of like Ultimate Gohan didn't need to transform anymore once he became Ultimate Gohan, because he was more powerful on his base than he would have been in his super states, Super Saiyan and Super Saiyan 2 and all that. So that he didn't need to use the forms against Oob. So that's why he didn't transform, because people always mention, well, it's inconsistent because he doesn't transform. Another reason is that it doesn't give any indication of gods. Like, there's no indication of Beerus and Whiskey and Champa and Zamasu and the Omni King. There's no mention or even hint of that. And you would think that since Bulma and Whis are friends, that even the excuse that people say is, well, Beerus went back to sleep. You would think that even though, let's say Beerus did go back to sleep, that Whis and Bulma, being good friends, would still see each other, and that it would be worth a mention or two. And even Goku and Vegeta, it would be worth a mention of the gods and the battles that they fought. But no, all we hear about is Kid Buu, Kid Buu, Kid Buu, as if he was the last villain at the end of Z. The last 3 episodes of Z. That's all we hear. We don't hear of any other enemies. We don't hear of, whoa, remember Goku, Black Zamasu? Whoa, remember the Terminal of Power? No, they don't mention that. They mention the past Tenkaichis, but they don't mention anything that Super had occur. I don't like that. I feel like Super, I would accept Super more if they would have made it after Z. Then I would be like, all right, I would embrace Beerus and Whis and the Omni King. Oh, and all that. Like, and another thing is, I love and the fact that there are other Saiyans. The fact that there are other Saiyans. The end of Z was like Goku and Vegeta are the last pure blood Saiyans, and that that after they die, there are no more pure blood Saiyans. And they don't even mention other universes at the end of Z. There's no mention of anything that happens in Super at the end of Z, of course, because it didn't exist. But at the same time, it's stupid to try and force yourself to like Super, even though it is so inconsistent. And I know Dragon Ball Z is inconsistent, but good God, it's super inconsistent. Holy hell. It does not match up. And then in Super, you have other Saiyans. And now it's like, oh, well, even if Goku and Vegeta die, then we still got other, universe, 6 or whatever? I don't remember. I don't care about the universes. That has all the Saiyans with Khalifa, Wiz Khalifa, and the other guy that looks like Vegeta's little brother, but isn't. It's not Tarble. It's the other guy. I don't remember. Kaba? Is that Kaba? I think, no, I don't know if it's Kaba. I think it's Kaba. It doesn't matter. I don't care about them. It undermines everything that Z established. And this isn't the first series that has done an in-between equal, where it takes place in between a certain point, between the beginning of a show and the end of a show. I don't have specific examples because there's so many TV shows that come out every year, but I've seen this before multiple times in TV series where it takes place in between the beginning and the end, and it's a spin-off show. And I think it is crap. These are absolutely crap. They never do them well. Never, ever do these well. And Super is an example of that. It does not do it well. You gotta pay. If you're going to do a sequel that takes place in between 2 parts, rewatch the last 10 episodes of the show before it takes place in the in-between part, and then the last episodes, the last 3 episodes of the series, and then make notes. Okay, I cannot do this. I cannot do that. I can do this. I can do that. That way, we do not get in situations like this. Because this really infuriates me. Of course, I know it's a fake show, it's fake, but it's my mind, my peace of mind. Because I love Dragon Ball Z so much. I love it. I love it so much that this is undermining it. So in my head, and a few other people, because some people actually like Super, and I respect that, but the people like me that see these inconsistencies, in my head, Super is not canonical. It's not. It didn't exist in my head. It ends with Dragon Ball Z. Although I do love Super Saiyan 4 and Gogeta and stuff. Those, like, I love them. I love those forms. But it ends at the end of Dragon Ball Z with Oob. And there's other inconsistencies that make me so mad. The fact that everyone is so scrawny in Super, even though it takes place, 6 months after Kid Buu or whatever, something like that. They're all so scrawny. Where's the muscle at? You know, Vegeta kept training. You know, Goku kept training. But, like, I was getting off topic, my bad. But, you know, they just look completely different. And the fact, also, that Gohan, or as they call him in certain jurisdictions, Gohane, which is kind of cool, that Gohan is a nerd in Super. But, hang on, people always complain, well, Super made Gohan a nerd, how dare they? The last 3 episodes of Z, with the time skip, the 10-year time skip, or 5-year time skip, whatever, it's 5 to 10-year time skip, Gohan was a nerd. This is nothing new. This was back in 1996 when it was airing in Japan, and then 2001, 2002 in the United States of America. How do you not remember that? How do you not remember? If you remember any episode from a show, it should be the first episode and then the last episode. How do you not remember Gohan being a nerd? It's nothing new. It's been that way for 17 years, 19 years, 1996, so 17, 19 years in the USA, 1996 in Japan. That's like over 20 years. How do you not remember that? This isn't new. He's been a nerd since the last episodes of Z aired, in whatever country you're in. Which is not an issue with me, because I actually like that. Gohan was never really a fighter. He was never really a fighter. He never really wanted to fight. When he got angry, yes, he did want to fight. And then it always followed up with him doing a strong attack or 3 or 4 punches and then going back to, I'm scared, I'm scared. Like, see, he's not a fighter. So him being a nerd and just giving up makes sense. And but the fact that time gap made you just think, okay, it's peaceful, 10 years, no peace. And then Super comes along, oh, Frieza came back. God, can we stop bringing Frieza back? He's not that great. His novelty wore off after Trunks killed him. Stop bringing him back. Don't bring him back in movies. Don't bring him back in TV shows. Unless it's flashbacks, Goku's talking about, well, yeah, I fought this Frieza guy. That's okay, flashbacks, but not, oh, I've come back, Goku. I'm going to suck your Saiyan titty dick. No, we don't need him back. We don't need him back. Stop bringing Freezer back. We don't need him. The novelty's gone. And you get all these fat neckbeard, oh, Frieza's coming back. Oh my god, Frieza's coming back. Oh yeah, we love Frieza. Oh, give me my cheeseburger and let the grease go down my neck. Stop bringing villains back. And they're going to bring Cell back. I know they are. And stop. We don't need another Cell. Cell doesn't need to come back. Keep Cell in hell. Anyway, yeah, so that 10-year gap made you think, okay, Gohan's been a nerd for 10 years, Scholar, he did his college and stuff like that. Then he comes back, and they do Super, and then he goes Super Saiyan, gets killed by Frieza, or no, not, he gets his ass whooped by Frieza, doesn't get killed, my bad, sorry, someone's gonna kill me in the comments. He gets his ass beat by Frieza, he goes Super Saiyan, Tournament of Power, all this other stuff. It's stupid, it is dumb, it is inconsistent up my bunghole, and I am absolutely sick. And then you have, from what I've seen video reviews and synopsis reviews and stuff like that of the Brawly movie, which is supposedly canonical, but that's what they said about Battle of Gods and Resurrection F, even though they're not, because they contradict the TV series. They're going to adapt it in Super, and if they don't, I will eat my words on that one. I will eat my words if they do not adapt it in Super, because I do not feel like they're gonna make Gogeta canonical. I feel like if they when they do the series adaptation, I'm pretty certain they're gonna do series adaptation, even though they say they're not. They said that about Battle Gods and Resurrection F, and then they ended up doing it anyway. So when they do the Super adaptation of the Broly movie, they're gonna switch Gogeta out with Vegito. It's just gonna happen. That's what they do. It's something that Akiri would do. And I've got to say, I've just got the Broly movie again contradicts Dragon Ball Minus, contradicts. I believe that Akira said that at one point in time Bardock was a canonical film because he loved it so much, or that he at least made the character canonical, and then you get a different backstory. Like what the.
Somebody please take out Akira Toriyama. Stop him from this madness.